All right, what's up guys? It's Gutex. Welcome to part 2 of the Street Fighter V 101 tutorial series. Today, we're gonna be covering defense. Last time we covered offense, and if you guys missed that one, go to the Cross Counter TV YouTube channel and you'll be able to find it there. Now, I wanna talk to you guys a little bit about why defense is important, because you might be saying, and I'm assuming that most of you guys watching this right now are probably going to be, let's say, complete beginners, and that's okay. So, because that's who I'm recording for. So basically, defense is important because, as the old saying goes, the best offense is a strong defense. So what does it mean to have strong defense in Street Fighter V? Well, I'm glad you asked. Basically, defense is what will keep you alive in a tough situation. So first things first, I'm going to make sure that I set my settings properly. We're just gonna basically set everything to normal except for the health. And we also turn on key display as well as attack data so that we can see how much damage and stun everything does. So the reason why defense is important and maybe is neglected amongst new players is because, I don't know, maybe you guys never really been in a real fight. I don't know, but I can tell you for sure, when you're in a real fight, defense is what will save you from getting your ass handed to you. So, in Street Fighter, the simplest way to defend is to block. So what I'm going to do right now is quickly record the dummy doing a real quick offensive string. And don't worry if that looks kind of complicated or whatever. We're not really talking too much about training, how to use training mode. We'll save that for another time. But basically, what the dummy is going to do is attack me with a jump in heavy kick and then do 2 medium punches and then cancel into fireball. And as you can see, I am simply holding back and then down back on the stick, and it doesn't matter whether you're playing on the controller or on a stick, but basically one thing that you will notice is that my gray life, which is displayed up in the top left corner, regenerates after I don't take any hits. So basically, in Street Fighter V rather, normal attacks do not do chip damage, which means you could block basically forever, but they do gray life damage. So gray life damage will regenerate over time if you don't get hit or no attacks make contact with you. So what I'm going to do right now is set my health gauge to normal. That way it doesn't regenerate all on its own. So now we can really see how much gray life damage really accumulates when you block. And as you'll notice, you'll see a little sliver of red life. That's called chip damage. So chip damage is done by blocking special moves. And this health is not recoverable in the same way that gray health is. So you can see, as I keep on blocking, my gray health keeps on regenerating if I do not let the opponent make contact with me. So I'm just going to back away, and you can see right now, it is regenerating, but you'll notice because I blocked all those fireballs, I'm not going to get all of my health back. So this means that blocking special moves incurs chip damage, but blocking normal attacks incurs gray life damage, which can be recovered if you do your best to evade the opponent's next attacks. I believe it's 90 frames before your gray health starts to regenerate. So you might say, oh, well, like, what's so hard about this? Well, the reason why blocking is hard is because when you get knocked down, you might be tempted to hit a button. You might be tempted to throw if you think that the opponent is going to throw you. So blocking is like easy when it's easy to see coming. But let me change up what I'm going to record here, and let's just try to simulate a. We'll try to simulate a real life match scenario where you're in the corner and the opponent is pressuring you. Okay, so we have a few attacks recorded here. Now I'm going to set this to on. Uh-oh. So see, you have to, generally you want to block low on Wake Up. And I guess I skipped over the fact that all you have to do to block is hold back if it's a high attack, or down back on the controller if they're attacking low. So by default, basically, if you're being attacked after you get up from a knockdown, you should hold down back, because that protects you from basically everything except for an overhead. So here, let me set the dummy to guard all, and I'll also set the dummy to crouch. So basically the dummy is going to block all of my attacks because he's blocking low. Except of course if I go for a throw. Throws are not blockable. You must either not be in that range, or you must also press throw, which is done by pressing light punch and light kick together when the opponent attempts a throw. But let's just say that we're just going to cover blocking low right now. So as I continue to attack the dummy, you can see that he just continues to block low, and you can see attack level on the dummy side of the screen. It'll say high, high, low, low. But if I go for an overhead, which is done by pressing forward medium punch, you'll notice that the dummy stands up. So basically, blocking low saves you from high and low attacks, but it does not save you from throws, nor does it save you from overheads. So generally, blocking low is the safest thing that you can do on Wake Up, because they won't be able to hit you with a low attack, and if they attempt to throw, you should be able to tech on reaction. So let me show you guys what teching on reaction would kind of look like. So I'll kind of demonstrate blocking low and how to tech on reaction. I mean, obviously this is going to take some practice. I'm just warning you now. Okay, so I have my throw recorded. Now I'm going to play it back. Oh. So you'll notice that when I tech a throw, I don't take any damage at all. But if I were to, let's say, tech too early, or maybe the opponent walked back, then my throw will whiff as so. Hold on. Ah, okay. So I'm still a little too close. Here, let me re-record it. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. I'll show you guys what So this is like this definitely is a real life, a real match sort of simulation. Ah, see? So if you're not careful, then you'll whiff your own throw, and then the opponent will just take a step back and then throw you. So this is a situation where you're probably teching on anticipation instead of on reaction. Ooh. Okay, so I mean, we can talk more about like how to practice that later, I guess. Oops, wrong one. I guess the next thing to know about defense is that you have another option, and this is the riskiest option of all. Oops, wrong one. Oh wait, oops, wrong one. Good old wake up uppercut. Now, you might think that this is the best thing for you to do because you're like, oh, I think he's gonna attack me. I should uppercut. Well, this isn't usually the best thing to do because, as we'll see, let's see, I'm gonna set dummy and then I'm gonna set record wake up actions. And then I'm gonna just try to mash an uppercut on wake up. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to set wake up actions, recording slot 1 on. Now if I knock, oops, I have to turn off guard all. And I'm gonna set normal recovery to normal. Then I'm gonna knock the opponent down and he's gonna uppercut on wake up. So now if I go for the throw, I'm gonna get uppercutted. Or if I do any sort of attack, I'm gonna get uppercutted. So you might say to yourself, well, Gutek's like, they're gonna attack me every time, so why would I not uppercut? Well, that's a good question. This is why you wouldn't uppercut. Whoops. This is why you wouldn't uppercut. So just like that, let me show you guys again. Oh, turn the V gauge on. I don't think that really comboed. Whoops. So just like that, I'm able to do 279 damage and 530 stun. Because if you block a wake up uppercut, you are going to be put into counter hit state. So if the opponent presses their crush counter button, they're going to get a crush counter combo, which does way more damage and way more stun. So I don't want to get too deep into crush counters right now. I just want to show you how risky doing an uppercut could be. I mean, the uppercut will do like 120 damage, let's say, but you're risking 279 damage if the opponent has V-trigger off of like a super easy combo. So that's why blocking low would be much safer and less risky than doing a wake up uppercut in that scenario. So let's think of other defensive scenarios. Well, we talked about blocking. We talked about blocking jump ins, and then we talked about blocking low, and we talked about, you know, trying to tech throws and the risks of doing a wake up uppercut. But what if the opponent just keeps jumping at us? You know, like lots of new players, they, you know, since they haven't been properly trained in the art of Street Fighter, they might think that jumping in is like a viable strategy against every player, but that's not really the case. It's only good. Jumping is only good against people who can't anti-air properly, aka beginners, or if the opponent did not anticipate the jump, even if they are a competent player, which does, of course, it does happen. So I have the dummy set to jump in at me with jumping heavy kick over and over and over. And the best thing to do would be to just do, if you're using Ryu, is to just do medium punch uppercut. But this might be kind of hard unless you've really, you know, trained your muscle memory, to do it at will, on command, as I'm basically able to do almost every single time. So the reason that I'm able to do this is because I've been doing uppercuts all my life, baby. But that might not be the case with you because you're probably a beginner. So you might say, oh, well, Gutek's like, that's really hard. Like, I can't, I can't uppercut every time, or like, it doesn't come out or whatever. Well, that's fine because you don't actually need to do an uppercut. It's great if you can do it. And by the way, you want to do it as late as possible because you'll notice right there, when I uppercut, I do 120 damage. But if I do it really early, oops. If I do it early, look, see, I only get 72 damage. Or, oops. Oh, see, like that, I only get 60 damage. Like, oh, what a ripoff, right? As opposed to right there where I get 120. So if you can train yourself to uppercut and do the uppercut motion consistently, then that's great. But for the rest of you guys, Ryu has other anti-air options, such as crouching heavy punch. So what you would want to do is basically set the dummy to jump in at you with, let's say, jumping heavy kick, and you would just stand at a range and then try to hit the opponent out of the air with crouching heavy punch. So you'll notice that this works well when he's really close. But you see, if I'm like kind of far, oh, now I get hit. So in that scenario, you would want to use heavy kick instead. And you'll notice that you do have to do it kind of early because the heavy kick kind of takes a while to come out. But you'll notice that if you time it properly, that you'll get a crush counter. Or if you don't time it properly, you'll get hit or you'll trade. But with a little bit of practice, then you'll be able to hit it pretty much every time. And if you hit the opponent and you score a crush counter, then you will be able to juggle with I don't know. I actually don't really hit these too often because most players that I'm playing aren't jumping in at these ranges, and if they do, I just uppercut them. That didn't work. That was too late. Okay, see, so maybe I could, let me turn on super critical gauge. There we go. Okay, all right, here, let me see if I can get the whole thing. Okay, I need to use a different, there we go. Still doing it too early. There we go. Nope. I'm so bad at this, guys. There we go. Okay, so basically, like, that is a simple way of practicing how to anti-air when you're on defense. But let's say that the opponent is just endlessly pressuring you over and over and over when you're on the ground, like, for example, by doing something like this. You might say, okay, well, what options do I have against that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Notice that I have a full V reversal, a full V-gauge, ooh, I can't even talk, a full V-gauge bar stock right now. And I'm doing V reversal by pressing forward and heavy punch as soon as the opponent makes contact with me. And so you could do this at any point during the string. So see, I could do it after the first hit, I could do it after the second hit, or I could wait until the fireball comes out. Or let's say after the fireball comes out. But you see right there, it's too far. So maybe it's better to do it after the first hit. Or maybe it's better to do it after the second hit. It kind of depends, but this is really good practice. And yeah, it does cost one stock of your V-gauge, but you'll notice that with Ryu, for example, the opponent gets knocked down away from you and you have time, you know, like let's say that the opponent was really beating you up, right? And you're getting really close to stun. You're like, oh no, I'm about to die. Oh, here, let me V reversal, and then you'll notice how far he has fallen away from me, and then I can kind of basically get out of harm's way and then let my stun gauge reset. The other thing to note is that when you hit somebody with V reversal, as you can see, they take gray life damage. So that means that lots of times after you land a successful V reversal, you would probably be able to hit them like so, and then now that gray life damage has become permanent. So these are kind of like the basic options, defensive options that you have when you're playing Street Fighter V. Remember, if they're jumping in at you, you could block high. If you get knocked down, the safest thing to do is block low. Of course, you could do something really risky like wake up uppercut, but as I showed you, you are vulnerable to being hit by a crush counter combo that would do a lot of damage. Of course, they might try to throw you, in which case you would try to tech on reaction, or let's say you could backdash or hold up. Maybe you could even hit a button like crouching light punch to get them off of you. But it's something to be aware of, and it's something that you're going to have to train specifically against and practice. And of course, they might jump at you, and you might be able to uppercut with Ryu Shoryuken if you had practiced that. And of course, you could use one of his other normals, such as crouching heavy punch or standing heavy kick, to anti-air, depending on the range, which is also something that you're going to have to practice. Or finally, you could use one stock of your V gauge on V reversal, and that would, if it hits, get them off of you, and you would have enough time to let your stun gauge reset, and it does gray life damage, so if they're not careful, you could sneak in another hit and make that damage permanent. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you guys are new to Street Fighter V, or even if you're not new to Street Fighter V and you're looking for some help, I've been using this app called Blend. It's on iOS and on Android. It's a group messaging app, so all you have to do is install the app and then add me on Blend, and then I'll add you to the Street Fighter V training group. If you guys are new to Cross Counter TV, we have new episodes of The Excellent Adventures of Gutex, myself, and Mike Ross. That makes it seem like Gutex and me are two different people. And in a sense, maybe they are. But anyways, we got new episodes every Sunday. Now we're doing Street Fighter V. We got more tutorials coming down the pipe for you guys all the time. A lot of great content for Street Fighter V. So thank you for watching. Hit me up on Twitter, add me on Instagram, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. See you later.